I'm thirsty.
Blunky the pumpkin! Make me back! October is upon us, meaning that the spice of autumn will soon tickle our taste buds. And no stranger is our good friend Lester, with this brand new offering, Lester's FIXIN'S Pumpkin Pie Soda. All the tastes beneath the crust of a pumpkin pie, from pasted pumpkin to cloves of cinnamon bite, carbonated and bottled, to sip away as the leaves fall. Blunkin' pumpkin. Make me that. They said that on a kid's cartoon. You know what a blunkin is, right? If you don't, I advise you not to Wikipedia it. Pumpkin pie soda from our good friends at Here we go, doing this tango again. You know what? Say what you want about me. I don't like to toot my own horn very often, but on this here show, you gotta admit, I've got a pretty big set of balls on me because here I am, just week after week, bad-mouthing companies, like legit companies out there who could probably sue me for slander or something like that. If the truth warrants it, I'm gonna spill my guts out to the public. And a lot of guts can be spilled for the Rocket Fizz Company and Lester's FIXIN'S. You can see all over this table. There's my spleen, there's my gallbladder, there's all my entrails. I'm gonna have a whole spread out here for you like it's a damn gut banquet. But you know what? Lester's FIXIN'S, you're off the hook today because I'm not going to talk about you right now. I'm going to talk about something else that I think applies. The first new car that I ever got was a Hyundai, and I'll never forget that day when I brought that thing home. It was such a dismal day outside, but being inside that car, I did not care. It felt so warm and inviting and squishy, and had that new car smell. It was awesome, and I have nothing but good memories about picking the car up. And if you know anything about me, I am a very frugal guy, almost annoyingly so. I went into that dealer with a game plan. I had a certain make and model that I had my eye on. I did not want to deter from that path. I did not want to get distracted by all the bells and whistles because Hyundai, let me tell you, they try to distract you with them. They throw all the bells and whistles into their cars and try to make it like an entertainment center on wheels. It's kind of their thing. All I wanted was my basic, bare bones, midnight blue 2001 Hyundai Elantra. But the dealer, he wanted to cut me a deal. He had an identical one on the lot. The only deal was that it was the one that they took out for test drives. It had like 1,000 miles on it or something. But it had all the accoutrements, all the stuff that did not come standard, he was gonna give to me for the same price as this one. So me being the sucker for a good deal, I thought, why the heck not? I'll take your test drive vehicle. It's still basically new, right? So I drove the thing home and I was very happy with it. Nice smooth drive. It had all these fun things to play with on a dashboard, and I made my payments for about 3 years and eventually paid the thing off. And that's when disaster struck. You ever hear this thing called the powertrain warranty? You ever hear it? That is the biggest ploy that car companies use to bamboozle you into purchasing their vehicles. They'll tell you 3 years, 5 years, sometimes unlimited powertrain warranty. And what does it cover? Maybe if, like, your gear shift gets dented? Maybe a door? Aside from that, nothing! After 3 years of owning this brand spanking new automobile, which 3 years, that's still new in my eyes, I started having problems with my radiator. I started noticing my temperature gauge would just go through the roof, and every once in a while I was driving to work, I would notice smoke coming from underneath my hood. So I took the thing to the Hyundai dealer, expecting this thing to be covered under this warranty. It wasn't, and it cost me over $1,000 to have the thing fixed. And you learned car people out there are probably looking at me like the fool, and you're saying Djclyve just didn't read the fine print. He doesn't understand what a powertrain warranty covers. It's his fault, right? Well, it gets better! So after I got my radiator fixed, I drove that car around for about a week, back and forth to work. And one day, on my way home from work, the same exact thing started to happen. The temperature gauge went up, all this black smoke started billowing out the sides of the freaking hood. I even saw a few flames this time around. But luckily, just by chance, I just happened to be driving by a Hyundai dealership. It wasn't the same one I went to before. This was in a different town, but they were my lifesavers, my respite, my oasis in the middle of disaster. So I pulled in right into their parking lot before I could do any further damage to that car. So I gave my car to the mechanics, and I waited an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, Like in the old day, like a prospective father would pace around the waiting room waiting for his pregnant wife to come out. That was me. Till eventually, the mechanic came out, called my name and said, "Hey, that car you brought in?" We had to cap it like Old Yeller. And I asked what the heck was wrong with it because I just had the thing serviced. And he told me a whole slew of things was wrong with it, all sparked by a faulty radiator. He told me the radiator got so hot, it turned into lava! And here's the kicker to all you wonderful people watching and all you cuties working out there in the Hyundai company. I floated the idea, hey, maybe I'm eligible for a new vehicle? Because I brought this thing to be fixed by your company, by your mechanics. I have the receipts to prove it. And it was the radiator that time. They didn't fix it. And it was the radiator that sparked these new problems. It's your fault that I don't have a car anymore. Shouldn't I be eligible for some kind of compensation? And the mechanic, he said this to me with a straight face. He said, "That was that Hyundai. This is this Hyundai. And we don't honor their work." So the moral of the story is this. I never bought another new car after that. That completely soured the experience. I always bought used. After that, went and got a Toyota. Toyotas work fine. That's now my brand. Never looked back to Hyundai. No, never did. Reported them to the Better Business Bureau. That does jack squat. Hyundai can lick my butt. How did I not see it coming? It says die right in the title! So after that long, sordid story, you might be asking yourself, how does that apply to this food item right here? It's quite a leap, huh? When I made the agreement to start reviewing Rocket Fizz LESTER'S FIXIN'S products, I wasn't in my right mind. I wasn't Djclyve back then. I was a different person. Why do I have to honor his work? My plea to the folks over at the Divinity Crate, stop sending these things because I see what's coming down the pipeline. I've seen the end game here, and I don't like it. Ah! Ah! Run for the hill! Stay away! Stay away! No, I don't want it! I don't want it! No! I don't want it! Fuck you, Lester! I don't want to drink that. You don't want to see me drink that, do you? Of course you want to see me drink it, but that's not the point. Why not just put a cork in the pipeline and let all those bottles clog it? Because I don't want them anymore. I'm a new person. There's a new name on the application. Different boxes have been checked. Oh, I guess I'm damned if I do and damned if I don't. I feel as if I've talked about pumpkin in a prior episode. My mind's failing me. I'm not remembering which episode that was, but did you know that the taste of pumpkin that you know is a lie? It's like what I said about tamarind juice or soursop juice. The fruit itself doesn't really have a lot of taste, but somebody out there wanted to market it. So they implanted it, like they almost hypnotized us to think this taste, this phantom taste that has nothing to do with this fruit, is associated with this fruit, and we just bought it. Now we're seeing pumpkin beers, pumpkin spice coffee, pumpkin creamers, pumpkin chocolates, pumpkin candies, and we all have this taste firmly implanted in our heads of what a pumpkin tastes like, but pumpkins don't taste like anything. In fact, with a pumpkin pie, the taste that you're tasting is mostly all the other stuff that you throw on top of that pumpkin. The pumpkin is just there to give it substance, to hold it all together. And I'm definitely getting that smell from this soda right here. I guess they did a good thing, huh? Something tells me this isn't going to be all that spectacular, but I'm going to take a swig. I'll let you know what I think. This is different, and refreshingly so. I'm surprised something like this doesn't exist in the mainstream. I'm surprised the folks at Coca-Cola haven't thought of this yet. I mean, when October rolls around, I'm not sure exactly when this is going to be published on YouTube, but October, like the autumn months, people love to frolic and have pumpkin-related things, like all sorts of pumpkin beers and pumpkin alcoholic drinks, pumpkin vodka, stuff like that, mostly adult stuff. Why should the adults get all the fun? Why can't a child uncap a pumpkin soda and frolic with their parents. Yes, the taste of pumpkin is a lie. And yes, I firmly believe that we as a society have been hypnotized by the media into believing that this is a thing. But I gotta level with you. I'm hypnotized, and I'm blissfully so, because in the autumn months, I love a nice pumpkin-related item. I love pumpkin chocolates. I love pumpkin beer. Why not have some pumpkin soda on top of that? I mean, I think it's a pretty damn good idea. Why don't they have more of this? And you know what? I'm not the drinker I used to be. Remember a while back I told you that I had to do surgery on myself and rip out my own appendix? My stomach has never been the same anymore. It can't handle alcoholic beverages. They make me fart uncontrollably. Well, I pretty much stopped beer cold turkey, but that doesn't mean that when I'm out frolicking like at some kind of autumn party or amongst all my friends, I'm watching all them drink all this pumpkin beer and I get jealous. I want to enjoy myself. I want to join the fun. I want that taste in my mouth while they're all having conversations, breathing in each other's faces. Did you see that game the other day? Yeah, did you see that episode of Stranger Things? Yeah, it was great. Eleven's my favorite character. Yeah, stuff like that. I want to be able to do that, and I feel all sorts of like puny in the corner that I can't enjoy myself with my friends. This allows me to enjoy myself with my friends. So, if I had to give this a star rating, I guess I'll give it, I'll get 3.5 stars. I feel as if I didn't elaborate on what this tasted like, and do I even really need to elaborate? You know what it tastes like. You know what that pumpkin spice taste is, that weird brown sugar kind of taste. Just picture that with a little bit of fizz, and that's what this is. And you know what? You might only be allowed to enjoy it 4 months out of the year. But what a glorious 4 months those will be. Hey, Coca-Cola Company, why aren't you making this? PepsiCo, why aren't you making this? Jolt Cola? Penguin Soda? RC Cola? Why not get a jump on the big two? Start manufacturing this. I'm full of good ideas. Hire me! I work cheap. So this is your good buddy Djclyve. Savvy. Saying until next time, I'll see you in Limbo. Lumpkin pumpkin, make me a bat.
Excuse me. Wait a minute, Anne.
So much younger in person and much better looking.
Anne, stop. Stop right there.
You see, I was just afraid that you might be one of those self-obsessed literary types.
I'm sorry.
You know, the Tweety twerp with his nose in this book and his head up his hat.
What does she say?
You know, the Tweety twerp with his nose in this book and his head up his hat.
What an awful line.
You know, the Tweety twerp with his nose in this book and his head up his hat.
Tweety twerp with his nose in his book and his head up his ass. So dumb it's funny.